Here's our technician today at Parker Automotive. We have an '07 Nissan Altima, and this is a hybrid. And this customer brought his car in. He is requesting that we change out the hybrid high voltage battery, and he provided it. And this is the one he provided.
So anyway, he's replacing this based on a recommendation from Nissan themselves. I don't suggest that you ever put a used cell battery, in there, because it's over 5 years old, and a battery lasts about 5 years. That's why the top of the line battery manufacturer gives you 5 years. That's Interstate. That being said, he says the vehicle they give him a warranty on it, blah, 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 whatever. Now this is a situation. I had the customer come in, and I explained to him that I didn't want to do it, that could be costly. So before I went through it, like I normally do with a lot of customers, I went through the stages of what they had to do to determine that it was this battery that was bad. And one of those things is you always test the battery that's in the car, because this vehicle has, as you can see, this has which is called a
This is the low voltage battery.
This is the low voltage battery, which, like you can see, this is an original battery. This is a Panasonic. I don't know the date yet because I got to get it up so I can see the numbers. But for the most part, if it's a Panasonic, these vehicles hold Panasonic batteries. The hybrid battery, which is this battery right here inside the car, this is a Panasonic. I don't know if it can read in there, but you can see it's a Panasonic. I don't know if it shows, yep. Panasonic. So this is a Panasonic system, so obviously it has a Panasonic battery in there. So logic would tell me that I should test this first. Well, while the customer was here with no charge, I did not only a alternator testing, which showed that we were below par. This car charges from like 14.2 to about 14.6. It was charging at 13.2, I think, so it's a little low. And the battery went from a full charge of 12.9, and it dropped rapidly to 11.5. So that tells me that the cells in the battery are bad. Now, at the dealer, they didn't know this. So what I'm trying to explain, I'm not going to tell you how to take the battery out, the old battery out, and put the new one in, because it's kind of self-explanatory. What I'm trying to tell you is sometimes you have to think outside the box. Like, hey, I got a battery light, and there's a code for my main battery. Is my alternator working? Is my other battery working? You have to remember, this vehicle is 2007. That makes it 11 years old. Did they ever do a battery or an alternator in it? It turns out that these two components are actually failing. So you would have thought that the dealership would have said, do this first. Another thing is why I had the customer here. I went into the hybrid system, and I checked for VIN data, or information data on it, and it shows that the air temperature, or the temperature of the battery, being at 58 degrees below Fahrenheit. So it's 58 degrees below zero, which would be an indication to me that it's the control module. And that's why I told him, hey, I don't want to do it. He went out and spent $700 on this battery.
Well, you had probably a 2-hour conversation with him how you didn't want to do it. Got a bad battery and alternator, do that first.
Right. I even said to him, I personally believe that if you have all this mismatched information in your controller, then it could be a controller. I do realize, because I looked up the codes that he has, and they all say it's the battery. But by experience, I usually know there's a whole bunch of other different variables that you have to test. One of them is the alternator and the low voltage battery, the battery that actually starts the car. And that being said,
We're doing it. So basically, the customer insisted, he signed a waiver, and we're doing it.
right, and so people know your vehicle is a computer. You have computers. So that being said, God bless you, God bless America, and thanks for watching.